Traffic Avenue, Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Oh, flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let Citi relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This
adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 5:30 p.m. here in Accra. Hello and welcome to Eyewitness News, live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka. My name is Nanatufo Boating and I am here with
Akosia Ochre.
Coming up over the next 1 hour, 30 minutes, Minority demands immediate suspension of what it describes as a rip-off contract between the Finance Ministry and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. Also coming up,
in light of this significant fiscal impact, these bills should not have been introduced without prior fiscal impact analysis, nor without my initiation.
Tragically wrong and ill-informed. These are the words used by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagman, to describe President Akufo-Addo's rationale for not assenting to the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill and the Ghana Armed Forces Amendment Bill. We will delve into it. But later, results of candidates from 235 schools withheld by the West Africa Examinations Council, WAEC, for providing artificial intelligence AI-generated answers in the 2023 WASSCE. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. But later in business,
government assures of implementing measures to reduce food inflation to reasonable levels.
Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates, including Premier 100.5 FM and Beach 105.5 FM. We're also live on Sky Power 93.5 FM, all in Takrade in the Western region. Join us in the Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. We're live in the Ahafo region on Hamas Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. You're welcome to Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Join us in the Volta region on Akpeni Radio 96.7 MHz in Bando and Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoi. We're live on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi in the Northern region. In the Upper East region, you're listening to Word 88.3 FM in Zwarungu. Welcome to Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura in the Upper West region. And you can join us on Eagle FM 94.1 in Walwale in the Northeast region. The news is also live around the globe on City Newsroom gmail.com. Your comments are welcome via our WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. Send us your comments, your thoughts, and contributions. Akusia will bring us our first story.
Let's start from here. President Akufo-Addo explained his refusal to assent to the Criminal Offences Amendment Act 2023, the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill 2023, and the Ghana Armed Forces Amendment Bill 2023. The president cites their financial implications on the consolidated fund of the state and a breach of Article 108 of the Constitution. The Ghana Armed Forces Amendment Bill 2023, a private member's bill sponsored by Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Xavier Susu, seeking to replace the death penalty with life imprisonment, was advised by the Attorney General to have financial implications on the consolidated fund due to the associated cost of incarceration. Now, in a communication to Parliament, President Akufo-Addo says the bill may need to be reintroduced in the future. Here's the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, reading out that letter to the members of Parliament.
Of introducing the bills as private members' bills. Conclusion. In conclusion, upon a thorough review of the relevant constitutional and legislative frameworks, specifically Article 108 of the Constitution and Section 100 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, it is evident that the bills introduced as private members' bills by the Honourable Member of Parliament for Medina Constituency, Francis Xavier Susu, do not conform with the provisions of the Constitution. These bills, which abolish the statutory death penalty and criminalize the activities of witch doctors or witch finders, entail substantial financial obligations on the consolidated fund and other public funds of Ghana due to the projected costs related to imprisonment, sustenance, and healthcare for those who will be convicted under the bills when they become law. Therefore, in light of this significant fiscal impact, these bills should not have been introduced without prior fiscal impact analysis, nor without my initiation or on my behalf. The absence of such an analysis precludes these bills from being properly classified as private members' bills. The legislative power entrusted to Parliament comes with the responsibility to ensure that all enacted laws comply with the constitutional provisions safeguarding the nation's fiscal integrity and upholding the principles of governance. Mr. Speaker, it is for the above reasons that I, in preserving the sanctity of the legislative process, refused to assent to the bills. I take this opportunity to reiterate my support for the contents of the bills and my intention for them to be reintroduced in Parliament on my behalf in due course.
The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, however, says the president was ill-advised on the bills and thus disagrees with him on his stance.
Vehemently disagree with the position taken by the president. The president has got it tragically wrong. Tragically wrong. And I will submit in the form of a statement under Article 53 my position in this matter and allow members of the House to make comments so that we can take a clear position in this matter. And I will do so during the course of this week. The president has not been properly advised, and the president has not been properly informed of the processes these bills have gone through. So I will submit a detailed write-up on it for members to make their comments. But I'm very clear that this message and the contents are irregular, wrongful, and unconstitutional. The responsibility to decide whether a bill should come on the private member or not rests on the person presiding. The procedure in the Act clearly states what the president is expected to do when a bill passed by Parliament and is referred to the president, and the president refuses to assent to the bill. The provisions are clear as to what the president should do. It's not for the president to decide on the constitutionality or otherwise of a bill that has been presented and considered by Parliament. Read the Act and the clauses of the Constitution. Definitely, this power of Parliament will not be taken away by any executive authority. I will submit a write-up on this matter, and members will be given the opportunity to make their comments, and we'll take it from there. Truly, the President invited me to discuss this matter. And when he raised this, I told him that I completely disagree with him. And I gave my reasons. He disagreed with me, and he proceeded to submit. And as he holds my views, and this process will have to be gone through, we cannot backslide by somebody's understanding of what the Constitution says without basis, no facts. I said he's not been properly briefed because we went through all the processes he's mentioning.
You heard the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin. Now, let's still stay on this matter and bring you bites from the Majority Leader, Osechi Mensah-Bonsu, on this issue.
He quoted for us Article 108 of the Constitution. And the language of Article 102 is clear. Just for the avoidance of doubt, let me quote what is contained in Article 108. That Parliament shall not, unless the bill is introduced or the motion is introduced by or on behalf of the President, proceed upon a bill, including an amendment to a bill, that, in the opinion of the person presiding, that's the Speaker, makes provision for any of the following. And the President related to Roman number 2 of A and Roman number 3 of A. It says the Parliament shall not proceed upon a bill, including amendment to a bill, that in the opinion of the person presiding makes provision for any of the following. 2 says, the imposition of a charge on the consolidated fund or other public funds of Ghana, or the alteration of any charge otherwise done by reduction. And Roman number 3 says, the payment, issue, or withdrawal from the consolidated fund or other public funds of Ghana of any monies not charged on the consolidated fund, or any increase in the amount of that payment, issue or withdrawal. So the President was telling us that, yes, the Speaker has exercised his discretion that, in his opinion, the bills that we have passed would not exact any toll on the consolidated fund. But the president is saying that he has had advice from the Attorney General and some other experts, and they are indicating to him that the bills that have been passed by Parliament, that is, those ones seeking to commute death sentences to life imprisonment, amount to taking people who otherwise would have been summarily executed and then imprisoning them for life. There are monetary considerations. If you want to imprison somebody, he goes to a prison, he has to be fed, he has to be taken care of. If the person is sick, the state will have to take care of that person. And we are going to have to take money from the consolidated fund to do that. So the president was only saying to us that what we have done. In his considered opinion, he thinks that it infringes Article 108A, Roman number 2, and Roman number 3. This is all that the president has said to us. The speaker says he disagrees with the president's opinion. That is legitimate. If the speaker disagrees with him, it's legitimate. And he could have ended at that I disagree with the opinion given by the speaker, by the president. And maybe I also come with my own understanding of the law. That is it.
Osei Chairman Sabonsu is leader of the Majority Caucus in Parliament.
Let's get more on this and speak to private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Counsel, I hope you're well.
Yes, I'm well.
Awesome. Counsel, so the president has given reasons or the rationale behind his decision not to assent to the two bills in question. The speaker says he vehemently disagrees with the president, and he ends by saying that the power of parliament will not be taken away by any exemptive authority. Is this what is being done with the president's decision or rationale for his decision not to assent to the two bills?
Yes, I would think that there is something wrong with the president coming too late in the day to say that he's not able to assent because this imposes a charge on the consolidated fund. So the question is that at the time he was signing the first one, he signed the first death penalty law. The death penalty laws are two. There is the one that has to do with the Act 29, which he has already signed. When I say Act 29, that's the Criminal Offences Act. He signed that one. Then there is the one that is the Armed Forces Law, Act 104. That's the one he didn't sign. That one together with the witches camp, this hatred against witches, blah, blah, blah. That's why he didn't sign. So the thing that my first thought on the matter is that, that's something that the president signed 6 months ago or thereabout, July, right? Yeah, that law was passed in July. It beggars believe that he could now come back after several months to now say, no, he doesn't think that's the right thing to do. Yes, of course, I acknowledge that we all make mistakes and sometimes we can go back. But I don't think this is one of those, because what extra charge is there? You see, this is the same thinking that anything parliamentarians do may be imposing a charge on the consolidated fund. That's with respect to private members' bill, like Susu did. That is why for a long time, private members weren't, that private members' bill was not being allowed until Speaker Okwe rose to the occasion and said, no, he would allow private members' bill to go through, right? So the president has to come along with Parliament. He has to come along with Parliament. That look, some of these things, we shouldn't unnecessarily drag matters. This death penalty thing, what difference has it brought? I would look at it this way. Before the law changed, these death penalty inmates or convicts were kept there for this is what you call it. So let's say minimum 20 years on death row. Then after death row, they will now be sent to life imprisonment. Okay. And then also the president's exercise under the Constitution, one of the articles, is it 75 or so? I'm not sure of the article number, but under the Constitution, the president can give a prerogative of mercy, so he can pardon, etc. Then the president could pardon. My point is that what Parliament did has not imposed anything extra. The people, since 1993, we've not been executing them. Since 1993. So what they've done, they've not imposed any extra charge. I've not seen any extra charge. It's just the old system that they've just rechristened. We've not been executing them. So, but the thing is that the death row is, from its name, death row, it was what do you call it? Torture. Because when you're on death row, the first 20 years, you are not allowed to mingle with people well. Sunlight is regulated. So many other things. So for me, that's the reason I supported the death penalty. And natural fact, I brought that idea. The one Honorable Susu used to get the first law passed. I said, let's amend Act 29. And of course, earlier on, the Supreme Court had also said they also think Act 29 is the way to go if you want to deal with the death penalty, because amending the Constitution is expensive. You need a referendum, blah, blah. You need to campaign to persuade people, blah, blah, blah. So the point is that people have not been executing, not killing since 1993. If you make a law that simply says, oh, now life imprisonment, it's not any extra charge. It's not.
Well, if the amendments will really not bring any extra charge, then is that to say the president's reasoning or the rationale is not tangible?
Absolutely. That is why he himself signed the first one with alacrity. He signed it quickly. He was very happy to sign the first one. It's something he himself, his administration couldn't do. He wasn't willing to do it. You know, what happened was that we went to meet the president earlier on, sometime 2018 or 2019, not long after then COVID struck. So we did a presentation, we went with Amnesty International. I did a presentation to the president that, look, we can amend the Act 29, what Honorable Susu used to do. The president nodded in admiration. The Attorney General then was President Gloria Kufu, and then Ambrose Derry, Interior Minister. All of them said, okay, we'll do it. I know executive, so many things, they never did it. So Susu came and then he took it and did it. And the president was happy that, at least private members' bill has resulted. So he signed the first one. He signed it joyously. So I think that this thing he's doing, he's drawing our democracy back. No. He said he signed the first one. It's been implemented, right? So how are you now withdrawing? Oh, no, it's not a good thing. He should just go back. These things, he should go back. The president, it's like 2 steps forward, then he's taking 5 steps back. He shouldn't do that. He should just, sign this and let's go.
The president, in his letter to the speaker, says that the bill may need to be reintroduced to Parliament on his behalf, emphasis on his behalf. Could this suggest that the challenge is with the private members' bill?
Not really. I doubt it. The reason I said this and I doubt it is that we did this presentation, and then Susu and Amnesty also went. He was happy and he signed this. Well, may I have said it. My point is that it does really, sometimes it's like just raising red herrings. I really don't see the point. This is something you should have done long ago. We went and did this presentation to him in 2019. I went with Amnesty International. We did this and he was happy. He didn't do much. We followed up a few times. It didn't work. And then, thank God, Honorable Susu was brought like an angel to us. Then he came and held the work I had this and done, the analysis and everything I did. And then he used it to do a private member's bill. This president, you were very happy about it. And then now, after that thing happened in July, about 25th July or so. So about 6 months down the line, you want to do a U-turn. Well,
Well, Council, for purposes of education, what really is this amendment seeking to do so that we can better appreciate whether or not it will have a financial implication on the consolidated fund or otherwise?
So it's the case that we have mainly Section 46 in the Criminal Offence Act, then Sections 49, genocide, and then other offences in the Criminal Offences Act. The Criminal Offences Act is an act that has defines and lists a lot of the crimes we have in Ghana. So among them, this 46, 49A, etc., smuggling of gold, murder, treason, piracy, these were offences that if a person committed them and the person was investigated and charged in court and found guilty, the punishment in the law books, the same Act 29, was that these convicts should also be killed, that's executed. And we have different ways of executing. Under the law, Act 30, another law, it can be by lethal injection, etc., right? But we since 1993, we've not been executing them. So it means that in practice, we are abolitionists since 1993. But as I mentioned earlier, it's the case that even though we don't execute them, once the person is convicted and taken to Sawam, there's a place they call condemned cells. Even from this name, condemned. So they are condemned. The conditions there are harsh. That's torture. So that's even the main reason I came on board to help stop death penalty, because of the conditions in Sawam. Because when Amnesty International first came to me that I should help in their bid to abolish the death penalty, I was saying that since 1993 we've not been killing. Our democracy is now strong. No president can do that. But later, as the conversation went on, then I remembered condemned cells. Even the few times I have been in Sawam, they don't allow visitors to get inside to appreciate the conditions. No. When you get to condemned cells, they say, they need extra clearance before they let you see the inside of condemned cells. So it was this condemned cells I remembered that made me come on board. And then we looked for solutions. Then we said, okay, look, if you want to stop death penalty in Ghana, just remove the punishments that are in the same Act 29, the Criminal Offences Act. Remove those punishments instead of death. So let's say, for example, Section 46, which is the section of murder, says that a person who commits murder shall be sentenced to what? Death. So that's a punishment. So if you commit murder and then you are convicted, you shall also suffer death. So remove the death and put life imprisonment. Then you go to Section 49A, the genocide ones and the other ones. Then the same, all of them, remove them and put life imprisonment. So that's the idea I brought upon. This and brought so to Amnesty, and then they helped, and then, as I said, we went places with it. And it was bought everywhere. We went to Parliament, everywhere it was bought. Then Honorable Susu took it up. So that is the history of it. To make sure that we do away with the death penalty. The reason we did that thing is that before then, the thinking had been that we should amend Article 13 of the Constitution. Article 13 is also about the death penalty. But to amend Article 13, we need to go through referendum. Referendum means we have to vote nationally to say yes, we agree or no. And to vote nationally, you need a lot of money for the voting itself. And then you need money to campaign. Yes, people, and then they know people also get up and all that. Can you imagine? A lot of money. So we said that no. Article 13 is almost impossible to amend now. So just go and amend the Act 29, which we did. So when Honorable Susu took the Act 29, as the work went on, then he saw that, there are also provisions in the Armed Forces Law, that's Act 104, where also for the military people, if they commit certain offenses, the punishment is death. So he added the Act 104 to the 29 I had found. And then he did both. Then the president quickly signed the Act 29, the one the civilians used. Then the military was done later. Actually, they were not done the same day. So the civilian one, the Act 29, was done earlier. And the president signed, as I said, with alacrity. And all applauded him that he had done well. At least, you see, in his 7th year, he had been able to find a proper Human Rights Act that will go with the accolade we have been giving him. Because he has not lived up to the billing. But at least, finally, signing the death penalty law, it was a sort of, at least for one moment, he had lived up to the billing of a human rights lawyer since coming into office. You see, so it's an anticlimax that he has come back to say, no, that's not the right thing and all that.
Counsel, thank you very much for your time this evening.
You're welcome. Good.
Martin Pebu is a private legal practitioner, and he has been speaking on the issue regarding the president's rationale for not assenting to the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill and the Ghana Armed Forces Amendment Bill. Stay with us here on 97.3 Citi FM. This is Eyewitness News. When we come back, results of candidates from 235 schools withheld by the West Africa Examinations Council for providing artificial intelligence AI-generated answers in the 2023 WASSCE. We'll be right back with the details.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Baby, are you okay, madam? Everything is fine.
Oh, nice.
Hey, wait, I can hear another heartbeat.
Eh?
Wait, it's 2 more heartbeats.
Auntie Ness, babe, what are you saying?
Hey, you're having triplets.
Hey, Radimu. Oh my God.
Sir.
Mommy, not today, oh.
Life is great at throwing up unplanned situations, and many of them will revolve around money. Fight financial anxiety, embrace freedom, and the confidence of knowing that you've got it even before you need it. With the Access Bank Visa Platinum Credit Card, you get a disposable income without depending on your salary. Pay for what you need without begging for a loan. Manage your lifestyle on your own terms. It's possible. It's freedom. For more information, visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll-free 0800 004400. Access freedom. Access more. Access Bank. More than banking.
It is your time to vote for assembly members and unit committee members. So get involved and vote.
Citizens of Ghana, this is an urgent call from the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE. District level election is here again. This year's election will take place on the 19th of December 2023. Every 4 years, Ghanaians are enjoined to elect citizens to serve as assembly and unit committee members to help facilitate the development of your community and the district. The time to exercise that civic duty is now. On Tuesday, December 19th, 2023, visit your voting center between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. with your valid voter's ID card and cast your vote to elect your preferred candidate. Remember, democracy begins at the local governance level. Your vote counts. Vote for development change agents. Vote for Ghana. A message from the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Many thanks for staying with us here on 97.3 Citi FM. This is Eyewitness News. Let's bring you some more stories. And the West African Examination Council, WAEC, has released provisional results of over 400,000 candidates who sat for the 2023 West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASSCE. WAEC indicates that the results of 839 candidates have been cancelled for possession of mobile phones in the examination halls. The subject results of 1,647 candidates have also been cancelled for bringing foreign material, such as prepared notes, into the examination halls. In addition, the results of candidates from 235 schools have been withheld for collusion and the use of artificial intelligence-generated answers. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to the Public Relations Officer of the West Africa Examination Council, WAEC, John Kapi. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How are we doing?
Very well, thank you.
So first off, let me pick your general observation of the 2023 WASI results. What do you make of this in comparison to the previous year?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your listeners. Generally, we would say that there has been an improvement in the performance, especially with social studies. In fact, in all the subjects, the core subjects in particular, there have been some upward performance on the part of the candidates. So I would say that the candidates have done well.
Right. Now, that notwithstanding, some challenges were recorded. Now, I'm seeing 839 candidates whose results have been cancelled for possession of mobile phones in the examination halls. What strategies were deployed to unearth or to uncover some of these tricks, if I can put it that way, by candidates?
Right. So we mandatorily, every candidate before they walk into the examination hall is supposed to be searched. That is one. Then two, we also had metal detectors, which enable some of our inspectors to detect mobile phones that are concealed on the persons or the bodies of some of our candidates. There were others also. In the course of examinations, they step out, and when they return, you find them a bit fidgety. And when you get closer, you realize that they have something that they're not supposed to possess in the examination hall. So basically, these are the ways by which we're able to detect some of these mobile phones on the part of the candidates.
Well, there were other malpractices as well. If you can run us through how these were also detected.
Right. So you realize that we have 3,647 candidates whose subject results have been cancelled. These are candidates on whom we found prepared notes. Some had some little pocket revision books that they sneaked into the examination hall. There were others also who had some assistance from people outside, because you realize that they were very well written out and handed over to the candidates. These were found on them in the course of the examination. So that explains why we have these 3,647 candidates whose subject results have been cancelled. Now, for those whose subject results have been withheld, these are infractions detected in the course of the marking exercise. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough time between the time of completion of marking and the release of the results. That explains why we have withheld those ones for further investigations.
These 235 schools whose results have been withheld for collusion and the use of artificial intelligence-generated answers. This obviously is a new trend that has been detected. If you can run us through how these were detected or identified, and then going forward, how we're hoping to address some of these.
Right. So with the artificial intelligence case that we've reported, I can give you one example where a candidate probably, I would guess that he typed in the question, and then the response was that I am not familiar with the term you have used. And the candidate wrote the same thing in his answer booklet. I cannot detect the word you have used, Now, so this is a clear indication of the use of AI. Now, previously, we used to have candidates going in with mobile phones expecting that they could take snapshots of the questions, take them out, get them solved and brought back to them. These trends are still ongoing, but one additional trend is the use of this AI and that is becoming a challenge. This is the first time we've detected this thing, and so we want to have a collaboration with the Ghana Education Service where there will be a strict adherence to the rule about the use of mobile phones in second cycle institutions.
What level of investigations are going to go into this issue, particularly on the AI? Because we need to be sure, verify, ascertain whether or not they were using mobile phones in the exam hall or questions were intercepted before, and for that reason they went into the hall with already prepared answers.
Well, I would say that we have monitored all the rogue websites that were publishing the questions that we had put out there. Now, our investigations and even some reports that we have received from national security indicate that all the questions that were found online were put out there after the commencement of the examination. And the suspicion is that these questions were out there, after the supervisors or invigilators or even examination candidates had taken snapshots of them and put them out there seeking assistance. Now, with the kind of AI responses that we've come across, these are things that our chief examiners have looked at. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to have the candidates come and defend themselves. We're going to put it out to them. This is what we've detected, and we expect that they would also come out and tell us whether indeed the allegations we are making are true or not.
How concerned is the council regarding the use of AI in the examinations?
We are very much concerned because at this level, we expect that candidates would do independent work. Even at all levels of our academic ladder, we expect that we will exhibit whatever we have learned in order that will be certificated on that basis. Now, if the candidates at this level are beginning to adapt or to apply artificial intelligence, then that is quite alarming, because then we cannot look into a bright future as far as education in Ghana is concerned.
Mr. Kapi, the results of 1,005 schools, the entire results of, candidates rather, I beg your pardon, were cancelled. What were some of the offenses they must have engaged in, and what is expected to happen next?
No, the 1,005 are part of those that we have withheld. We've not cancelled them. We are still going to investigate. So it is only when we've investigated that we can tell whether they will be cancelled or not. The ones we've cancelled are the 3,647 candidates, and then also the 839 who came in with mobile phones.
Right. How long is this investigation expected to take? Because these candidates, after completing the senior high level, are expected to progress into the tertiary level.
Well, usually we send out, we have their contacts, so we send SMS to every single candidate, and then we tell them where we want to meet them and at the time we want to meet them. Now, the speed with which we will conclude this depends on the availability of the candidates to respond to the allegation that we have against them. If you recall, when we released the BEC, we put out there that we wanted to meet with the candidates. As we speak, we also have a little below 800 who did not avail themselves. This list was published in the dailies, hoping that they would see them and then avail themselves. We would have a chat with them, and if we have to release, we will release, and if we have to cancel, we'll cancel. So it all depends on how soon the candidates will be available, but obviously not before the beginning of the new year.
All right, John Kapi, thank you so very much, sir.
You're welcome.
We wish you well. John Kapi is the Public Relations Officer of the West Africa Examinations Council. Akusia will give us some more stories.
Yes, still in education, the think tank for Africa Education Watch has recommended to the sector ministry to approach a senior high school program that would target issues relating to the program. The suggestion is to focus on children from the poorest households in Ghana using data from the LEAP program. This recommendation comes after the think tank conducted a research on the financial burden of the free SHS policy and its implications for equitable access. The research revealed that despite the government absorbing the cost of secondary education, parents are still paying 5,507 cedis, including prospectus costs. Kofi Asari, the executive director of Africa Education Watch, spoke on the matter.
We sought to find out how much they were spending, giving their awards to school, and how they were spending on. Okay, averagely, parents are spending in this year. They are spent. I mean, in the past academic year, 2022-2023, we're spending 4,000 cedis a year on their students in senior high school. Okay, 4,000 cedis for the 2 semesters. This is different from prospectus. So this applies to either continuing or day.
Wow. Wow.
It was 2,596 in the 2019-2020 academic year, and it was 2,406 in the inception year. So if you look at it, parents' spending has moved from 2,400 in the first year, 2,500 in the second year, and 4,000 in the 2020 academic year. You realize that between 2018 and 2022, inflation alone was at 170%. And so if you just suppose it with the increase in the personal expenditure, you will realize that, yes, it's in line with the inflation increment between 2018 and then 2023. Now, what goes into this amount of money? That's 4,000, let's say, for the last academic, 4,000. 60% goes into provisions, buying provisions, especially food for their children. And then 10% goes each into transportation, books, their upkeep, and then personal effects. Now, on transportation, for example, a parent who lives in Accra, whose child attended Porters, had to go to school sometimes 4 times in an academic year. So between here and then Porters, Western region, they go first semester, they'll go and come because of the trucks we are running. So they go and come, and all it's all transport. And if you are doing 50 cities, you can easily do 400 cities in a semester.
This is serious. So the 4,000 average they spend on the child
in 2022-2023 academic
is 60% of that is on provisions, 10% on transportation, 10% on books, and 10% on personal effects. The figure for prospectus
and 10% on upkeep.
And upkeep, yes. The figure for prospectus average was 2,600.
Yeah.
Good. So the amount they spent in 2022.
Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asari, there speaking with Citi Breakfast Show host Bernard Avle. Now, the Ghana National Association of Private Schools is expressing concern over the government's disregard for private schools in flood-affected zones within the Volta region. Professor Damascus Trusong, the national president of NAPS, says private schools in these affected areas should also receive aid from the government's relief packages similar to what is provided to public schools in the flood-affected areas. During a visit to some impacted schools in South Tong, Professor Damascus Trusong stressed the importance of the government's attention towards supporting private educational institutions equally.
Here within the Volta region, what we have observed is that the attention is being given to state schools, public schools, to the neglect of the private ones in this disaster situation. We are emphasizing that the private schools must also benefit from these budgetary allocations so that the child who attends the private school is not left out. We have information that a lot of the children who were displaced are not getting back to school yet. So measures have to be put in place to return those children. And those measures should not just be for children attending public schools, but the measures being put in place ought to extend to the private school child as well, so that all children within the affected area can get back to school and learn.
That was the national president of the Ghana National Association of Private Schools, Professor Damascus Trusong.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Mommy, please, let's go. Hey, why are you taking the whole family? You've forgotten I said I was coming here today?
Forgive me, but we are all headed to Royal Senchi for Christmas.
But it's not Christmas yet.
Shit. Christmas has started early at the Royal Senchi. From now till 21st of December, you can book a room for 2 people at a promo rate of 1,500 cedis on bed-only basis.
You're joking. 1,500 cedis for a room at the plush Royal Senchi? Let me call my husband now.
Call 0244 958 822 or 0303 409 180 or send an email to reservations@theroyalsenchi.com. Terms and conditions apply. The Royal Senchi, your luxury riverside escape.
On 19 December 2023, oh, vote for the women for a better Ghana. The time for women is now. Let us vote, oh, vote for the women for a better Ghana. I go, fellow Ghanaians. The Electoral Commission of Ghana has set Tuesday, 19 December 2023 for the District Assembly elections. On that day, we are encouraging all Ghanaians of voting age to go out and vote, especially for more women into our assembly.
I know. Assembly about so no basu bronya busuni emu. Eya de da ito so edon krono. Kai say e ba do wa obetu wa ba aba oba wejira won peswa so no.
There are currently over 9,000 assembly members in all the 261 assemblies in Ghana. Out of these, only about 800 are women. This is less than 10%.
When you say, why am I mu a mad so shame member? Now so a assembly members are measure now about bako and then you look heavy no war assembly hall. A balosa what 80 Mumay Namwa, my mad or a fee assembly about to you. Anne, Omaya to Yaba and man.
Your vote for a woman on December 19, 2023 will help increase women representation at your assembly for equitable development.
Kai say you got about to do what your assembly more. A babu my assembly no akon kai e won to do.
When men and women take decisions together, we all win. Yes, the time for women is now. This message is brought to you by the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, NALA. The time for women is now. Let us vote for the women for a better Ghana. On 19 December 2023, oh, vote for the women for a better Ghana. The time for women is now. Let us vote for the women for a better Ghana. For economic development, let us vote for the women for a better Ghana. For quality education, let us vote for the women for a better Ghana. For health and sanitation, let us vote for the women for a better Ghana.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. The minority in Parliament has asserted that the government's failure to service its external debts is causing a delay in negotiations with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, for the second tranche of the $3 billion credit facility. Reports indicate that the IMF has rescheduled the board meeting to consider the release of the $600 million funds to Ghana by January 11, 2024. John Jinapo, the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, expressed concern that such delays could potentially undermine the government's efforts in restoring the economy.
It does appear that government is struggling with a foreign component of our debt. And when we looked at the budget, government was supposed to pay about 12 billion in interest payments as of January to August. As we speak, they've paid only 4 billion, ostensibly because government has unilaterally suspended payment for a certain category of our external debts. And so when you see the budget deficit and the budget improving, it's not because the ministry or government has done anything good. It's just because unilaterally they've suspended payment. And that has a long way to affect the negotiation. So I'm not surprised that the negotiation is stalling. But if you want to negotiate with me, you must come to the table with good faith. Already you've decided that you won't pay me. It's like putting a gun to my head. But you see, the truth is that whilst you can bully and bulldoze your way through with the domestic section, the foreign creditors, they are very, very seasoned. You give them a promise, they've given your money. You can't just go to them and say, take a haircut of 40%. I'm also informed that China is not comfortable with the way the debt structure is going. China is pushing for equity. China is also pushing for a certain cutoff period. And that has become a problem. And the truth is that if this continues, it ultimately impacts on the image of Ghana. It will ultimately affect the currency. And sometimes even the gains you've made from the domestic side will be eroded because when your currency depreciates, your foreign component in terms of FCD equivalent also increases. So I think the government must come with a clean heart, with good faith, with honesty, with integrity. And when they do that, we may be able to have some solution. But as it stands, it's quite obvious that things are very, very tough. And if it continues like that, it can derail all the progress that has been made so far.
John Jinapor also called for a suspension of a 10-year contract between the Finance Ministry and the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited SML for revenue assurance services pending a probe by Parliament.
The minority has discussed this topical issue and will be moving processes in Parliament to ensure that there's full-scale investigation. Because we do not believe that there's value for money. This contract is a rip-off. This contract only ends up filling the pockets of greedy politicians and individuals because just a couple of weeks ago, the Mines and Energy Committee visited NPA and were made aware that they've put in place enough systems, enough mechanism, enough infrastructure to ensure that all the loopholes and all the losses are safeguarded, and that they've even hooked up with the Ghana Revenue Authority to ensure that all those assurances are catered for. And so the question is that why would you need this? Even more importantly, it's turned out that the so-called 3 billion savings was nothing but a hoax. We cannot allow the taxpayer to be burdened with such unnecessary contracts that only go a long way to fill the pockets of individuals. And so we would advise that immediately that contract is suspended pending the parliamentary investigation. And when we go into it and we find out that indeed all those allegations are true, we would ensure that this contract is abrogated because it doesn't serve the interests of this republic.
John Jinapor is ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament. Now, the youth wing of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, in the Upper East region has announced their decision to boycott Tuesday's district-level elections in the region due to unresolved concerns with the Electoral Commission's decisions. The issues raised by the NDC youth wing include a disagreement over the number of personnel dedicated or designated to manage the election and the insistence on using indelible ink during the voting process. Abraham Lambon, the Upper East Regional NDC youth organizer, stated that the youth wing is prepared to use all available means to halt the election.
For the first time in the history of Ghana, that elections will be held without indelible ink, and voters who vote will not be marked with indelible ink. So assuming I want to create confusion, I come and vote, move a distance and come back again and say I've not voted. I'm in the queue, so I'm supposed to vote again. What happens at the polling station? A candidate who thinks that this particular polling station, I'm not popular there, I won't win there, and want to frustrate voters, can internally get about 10 or 5 people who have voted already, and they will come and pretend they have not voted. And you have no evidence to show that they have voted. And so electoral commissions should rather be seen, making the process easy for people to vote. That notwithstanding, the number of electoral staff have been reduced from 5 to 3. So they are compressing the number and forcing people, one person to play the role of 2 people. That process is also going to slow the process of voting because we do not want to have confusions and troubles at our polling centers in the region, especially in Buku, where we have small tension. If this process is implemented and people come, if you're not careful, the end results may be good at the end of the day.
Abraham Lambong is regional youth organizer of the National Democratic Congress in the Upper East region. Still on this, the Electoral Commission says all is set for the district level elections scheduled for tomorrow. The elections are expected to take place in 259 districts across the country, except in Kranza North and in Kranza South. Now, the Commission clarified that the terms of office for assembly members in these two districts are yet to expire, as they held their elections in 2021, unlike others who held theirs in 2019. Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah, revealed that staff and logistics have been adequately deployed.
Voting, as you all know, will commence at 7 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. in all polling stations across the country. All eligible voters are therefore expected and urged to go to their respective polling stations to cast their votes. Registered voters whose voter identity cards are missing can still go to their respective polling stations to cast their votes, since their particulars are already in the final register. And also their particulars have been incorporated and uploaded in the biometric verification devices, and therefore voters who have misplaced their voters' ID cards are still encouraged to go to their respective polling centers to cast their votes. As part of the Commission's preparations towards the conduct of the district level elections, the Commission undertook some major activities, most of which you are aware of, and we engaged you extensively on those activities.
That was Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
It's time for City Business News and Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. I'm Makosi Altre. Let's settle for the details. Government has assured of putting in place measures to ensure the country's food inflation rate reduces drastically. This comes as inflation for the fourth consecutive time dropped significantly, recording a rate of 26.4% for the month of November. Also, though food inflation dropped by 12.6 percentage points from 44.8% in October to 32.2% in November, Minister of Finance Ken Ofori-Atta stated that more can be done to sustain the trend.
We saw the inflation come down to 26.4%, which is literally half of where we were at 54 point something at the end of last year. So it's quite an impressive performance. And I know we've gone through very difficult times, but you look at inflation being halved, we see our growth, which was expected to be 1.5%, double at 3%. And the inflation also indicated that Greater Accra had the lowest growth inflation. That is good. Food inflation is still problematic, but even that was down considerably from the 44% effect to about 32 this time. So the supply is not a problem. I think the logistical movement is what we need to get efficient about. And so we are truly looking forward to a good year. And next year, we all remain very hopeful and sure that we will turn around and get to the 15% inflation level that we are expecting for next year.
That was Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, financial analysts have expressed deep concern as the government grapples with negotiating debt restructuring with its external bilateral creditors. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has rescheduled the board meeting to consider Ghana's second review under the fund program and the disbursement of the second tranche of the IMF loan to January 11, 2024. Now, despite significant progress with external bilateral creditors, particularly with China, sources indicate that more needs to be done to conclude negotiations. Finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah, has been speaking on the matter.
You are a creditor, and you are anticipating what we call a restructuring, and then your borrower comes with such position. Of course, you may have to be a bit scared one way or the other. So we're not going to get it easy because we don't know what the finance minister was sitting on for him to make, such a statement. And so those external creditors are more, sophisticated, compared to, the domestic market. The domestic market, it was like monies don't have alternatives than government instruments. So he had his way. But, external creditors, we're not going to find it that easy. So, Ghana is desperately in need of, the 600 million inflows. And if we don't get it, the consequence on our exchange rate, on our economy in general, could be dire. And as a result of that, we all pray that we can get, the buy-in of China for the restructuring to go on so that those monies that have been earmarked.
Professor Lord Mensah is a finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. Well, that's it for City Business News on Eyewitness News. It was brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Bank Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. I'm Akosia Otre. Up next is Point Blank.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That'll be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Cry. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Tell you guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz. And he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry, Chairman Mane. Chairman. Hey, Chairman! Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
About to a rainy, gonna go to a bunny view. Easy about to a rainy, young go to a bunny view. Oh, Oyo mamba sorry kotu abani biu. Easy wonka say. Kona kotu abani biu. Emra so say kotu abani batam abatuo. Assemblymen, unit committee members. To abamane. I am puntu yuma. To abamane. I am puntu yuma. December 19th. Please prepare yourself to go out there and cast your vote. Oh, Mamba Papa, 19th December. Fellow Palon, so got me your brain. About 200, no, a bump of 4 war. Young Peppa Sabasa, young voters ID card. Put to be a coffee. A bomb to my wapa. I can camera, no, so your Mamba. Got to a banubio. About to a many, gonna cut to a banibio. Easy about to a many, and come cut to a banibio. We are Mamba, sorry, cut to a banibio. Easy bon guy, say, gonna cut to a banibio.
District Assembly elections. Please go and cast your vote.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
For staying with us here on 97.3 Eyewitness News is live on Citi FM. It's now time for Point Blank. Tomorrow, the 19th of December 2023, Ghanaians will go to the polls for the district level elections. Ghanaians will elect assembly members and unit committee members. Tonight on Point Blank, I have in studio an assembly member aspirant for the Odona Sahara electoral area, Forsyth Zachary Yaro Al Hassan. Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Forsyth, good evening.
Evening.
Right, I trust you're doing well.
Good.
Forsyth Zachary Yaro Al Hassan.
Yes, popularly known as Kilo.
Kilo.
Yes.
Are you an area boy?
I'm a man of the soil.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Your name gives me the inclination that really you have a lot of vision. So if you can just run us through your vision for the assembly going into this particular election.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to send some regards to Valentino Nino Enote, who is going to be our next MP. Okay, my intentions to contest this election has been way back, but you know, man proposes, God disposes, and I think this is a time to take the mantle and then make things work and then change the narrative. I have 4 aims or objectives to run this electoral area. The first one has to do with the flooding, which is almost the biggest.
That's a very big challenge, especially for those in the Sahara area.
Yeah. And then the second one has to do with human empowerment, the youth, and then getting jobs for the youth, and then skill training.
Right. Let's take it one after the other. Okay. So the flooding, what are your plans?
Okay. If there's a saying that if you don't use your mind, your body will suffer. And for that matter, flooding in Odona Sahara is not the only place where there is flooding. When you go to a place like Aveno, Alaju, they all suffer flooding. And as an assembly aspirant who is vying to take the mantle, I'm going to form a coalition of assembly members that has flooding problems and make sure we go to the appropriate quarters to make sure that the odor you see over there will be dredged on time.
So you're going to form a coalition of assembly members in areas where there is flooding.
Yes.
And also, this would have to be areas where the odor flows through.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I believe with that, when we go to appropriate quarters, they will hear us. Now, the problem has to do with the odor itself. Inside, the deep of the odor is 18 feet. But as at now, if you go there, because of the sun is full inside, now it's about 4 inches. So you can imagine, sometimes it rains at the mountains and it doesn't rain here, and this place get flooding. So if you are able to push the Ministry of Sanitation to dredge the odor on time and get the 18 feet, there will still be flooding, but it wouldn't be that serious as we've been seeing or experiencing every time when it is a rain season.
But are you aware that the government has been dredging the odor?
Have you witnessed that before?
Well, I'm asking you, are the assembly, you are a member aspirant for the area.
You know the funny thing?
Talk to me.
We all know in Ghana that rainy season starts in May, June, July.
But now there's climate change.
Yeah, climate change is in now. So once there's a change, we also need to change the way we do our things.
Right.
You can't wait till May or June, then you bring machines that you are coming to dredge.
Okay.
It's not going to happen. So the coalition of the assembly members affected by the flooding, we are going to make sure the odor is dredged on time.
It's involved money.
It's involved money, but you can't. We are losing people. You understand? When it floods like that, there are so many issues. So we can't wait and say there is no money, and for that matter, we should leave it like that.
What of the people living along the odor and their own attitude contributing to the odor, and of course, it's being choked and all?
Yes, it's because it's just like a house with beautiful girls without a gate. Everybody can enter. There is no leadership. When I come, I'm going to change the narrative. And those attitudes will change. Yes.
All right, that's point number 1 for flooding. Let's look at point number 2.
The number 2 has to do with
mention human empowerment.
Human empowerment. You see the youth loitering around. Some of them have laptops and all that. Majority of the youth knows the bad side of the computer or the laptop. I'm going to show them the good side of it. That is going to help them live a life for a very long time.
Are you a computer analyst, computer specialist, IT specialist?
I don't need to be a computer analyst or computer
So what is this good side, and how do you hope to show the youth this?
Okay, so I'm going to train them. My vision is to get 100 computer engineers. Yes.
So you're taking them through school?
Yes, free of charge.
Are you a rich man?
Oh, I don't need to be rich.
So how are you going to pull this off?
Yes. You see...
Will you be paid as an assembly member?
You are not going to be paid.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how are you going to pull this off?
I wish I could tell you things that I have done. That will tell you that what I'm saying, I'm going to do it.
What are some of the things you have done?
Okay, I'm not an assembly member. Every year, students who comes out, graduate from JSS, those going to boarding schools, I provide them with chobos.
How many per year?
It varies. Sometimes, my office is there, they come, you register, you say this and that. So it varies. I can't give you a specific number.
Right.
Yes. And then those going for a day school, I give them 50 exercise book each. Now, when you go to the garages, do you know the garages where the mechanics are?
Yeah.
You see there's a roundabout there.
Yeah.
I did it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was going there.
This is just around the hospital?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I was going there and the whole place was choked. I went inside. It took me about an hour to get inside. When I got to the chairman, I said, Chairman, this is the place. Oh, we're trying to put up a roundabout there, but everybody, they are not ready to contribute. I said, give me 2 weeks. I'm going to put it out for you. I did that.
Forsyth, what do you do? What
I'm
is
a
your line of
security
business?
Consultant.
Security consultant.
Yes.
You make money from there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that's 2 out of the way. 2 more, because you mentioned you have 4 pillars for your campaign. Let's look at the final 2.
Okay. So the third one has to do with skill training. We have some of the girls out there, their wish is to get into something. But, of course, the means is not there.
Comes back to the money.
Yes, it comes back with money. Yes, so we are going to put them through skill training so that they can get something to feed themselves.
All from your pockets?
From my pocket.
But why are you not doing? I mean, you've mentioned that you give out chop boxes, you give TNT to day students. You've done a runabout around the garage. Why are you not doing it now? Why do you want to be assemblyman before you do it?
I'm telling you things I've done. If I say I will say it,
I'm talking about.
Can't finish the interview.
I'm talking
now.
about the skills training, the computer engineering education, and all that. Why aren't you doing that now? Why do you want to be assembly member?
I'm saying it. I'm doing it.
These are things that are already in the offing.
It's in existence. Yes.
Community members can testify to this.
Why would I come here and then come and brag? Yes, I won't do that.
All right, let's look at the 4th point and then we digress into other issues.
Okay. So, the 4th one has to do with brilliant and needy students.
Okay.
Within the electoral area, which I'm already doing that. I have a Foresight Foundation which takes care of that.
Right.
So I'm not an assembly member doing this. Even if I'm doing 5 things or 10 things without the portfolio, I believe getting the nod, I'm going to do 3 times what I'm doing now.
How so? What will change when you get the nod? Will your finances be better? What will change?
You see, people put on lenses, but they can't see far. Somebody will not put it, but he can see far. Yes.
And that's why you have foresight.
Yes. My name alone should tell you. My name should tell you what I'm capable of doing.
I see. It's curious. I am curious to find out. I mean, if you're waiting for the portfolio, if you're waiting to be elected assembly member before you can upskill what it is that you say you do, then perhaps, it's for your own parochial interest and not necessarily the community at heart.
I believe you've not been fair to me because I've told you what I have done. And I'm telling you, all these things I'm telling you is already in existence.
And I'm asking that currently, are you in a position to expand this?
Exactly. Whether good or bad, I'm going to continue that.
So in the event that you do not win this election...
I don't have a problem at all. Yes, I don't have a problem.
Are you going to expand your benevolence?
I'm going to do better than what I'm doing now. Yes.
Right. Let's look at the area, Odona Sahara electoral area. What are some of the challenges that you have identified as a resident of the area that you're looking to come help address? I mean, aside of the flooding and the 4 pillars that you have raised.
Okay, I don't know the route you used to come to office. Do you know Kelewele Junction?
I use the main road and then turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you are coming, what do you see? The junction, this junction.
The metal slabs have been taken off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is leadership. If you have an assembly member who passes that route every time, you yourself, you've been passing there, and the slab has been taken away. The best thing to do, you can't just do it because the assembly have to do putting this and that before it can be fixed.
Yeah.
Huh? Why can't we get a hardwood that can temporarily hold that thing? Because I have witnessed cars falling into it.
Right.
You understand? Now, apart from that, you can see they've turned that junction into a station. You've witnessed.
Yeah.
There is no leadership. This is leadership. I don't. A leader does not wait for God to come and tell you, I created you, I gave you wisdom, so come and do this and that.
So why are you waiting to be assembly member before you do this and that?
This is the reason why I'm telling you that when you go to the assembly, I've gone there because it worries me.
Right.
I went to the assembly. I went to the MCE. I told him this is what is happening.
Right.
He said they have to go through a
process. Yes. So that's one.
Yes.
What are other challenges?
The other challenge has to do with the drainage.
Yeah, indeed.
When you are going, you will see a lot of slabs. They've removed it, but putting it back has been a problem.
Yeah.
There is no leadership, I tell you.
All these things you say, I don't know. They will put a financial strain on you.
This has nothing to do with financial. I'm telling you.
What is your plan
This
then? What is your
has
strategy?
Nothing. You see, assuming you are in the house with your father. You are in the house with your father. Knowing very well that you have to sweep the room.
Yeah.
Your father knows you have to sweep the room, and you are not doing it. The moment he takes broom to sweep, that's where you go and take the broom from him to do that. Do you think if I am an assembly member and I come and decide to put on the slabs to the gutters, people will not join me to do it? Would this cost money?
So you are going to mobilize the community.
I'm going to change the narrative. I'm going to change the minds of the people.
Right.
Yes, I'm going to change the minds of the people.
Right. Let's look at your person and, of course, your relationship with the community. What gives you the assurance that come tomorrow, residents of Odorna will vote for you?
I'm 43 years. I'm born and bred here. They know me. They know what I can do. Last 4 years I came, it was very close. And this time around...
How close was it?
Very, very close. Very, very close. And this time...
Did you take a comfortable lead only to be surprised at the end?
Yes, in life you need to learn.
Yeah.
I've learned my lessons.
Okay.
So my coming is brutal. It's very brutal.
What do you think accounted for your defeat in the previous election?
Every election, there's a saying that when you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Okay.
There were certain things I didn't do, which this time around I'm doing it.
Okay.
So I've learned my lessons.
What are some of these things? Can you share with us?
If I should share this, by this time...
We're voting tomorrow.
My opponents are listening.
How many are they? How many do you have?
We are 3.
3?
Yes,
for the assembly membership position.
Yes.
Right. But you're convinced that tomorrow by this time, if we call you, there will be white powder on your head and on your face, and you'll be riding on the necks of your campaign team, singing and dancing to victory songs.
I'm not sure tomorrow by this time when you call me, you get me.
Where would you be? There will be a victory party somewhere.
I don't know. Tomorrow will bring itself. Yes.
Right. Let's look at the exercise so far. What do you make of your campaign and your preparation, and of course going into tomorrow? You're mopping your campaign up tonight, I want to believe.
Yes. In fact, there's a big issue
in
Ghana.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to monetary in politics. If we don't take time, 20 years to come, we'll have cocaine dealers, scammers in position.
Because of money?
Because of money.
Have you seen this in your own election, in your own area?
This is what I'm telling you. The people know you are the best candidate, but yet they say, give me money.
And you don't want to give the money.
I do some I won't do it.
Mm.
Yes, I can't come and sit here.
That means you are picking and choosing.
It's not picking and choosing.
But what are you doing?
You can ask me for money genuinely. I will give it.
Yeah.
If I see that you're trying to play with my money, no, I won't give you. I won't give you. I'm a security consultant, so when you are talking to me and you are real, I know.
You're able
fake,
to read the body language
yes.
and all.
When you like me, I know. Yes.
So, deducing from what you're saying, at assembly level, district level election, you guys are paying monies to be elected.
Yes. Ghana is in shambles. I tell you.
Yes. But as an assembly member, how are you going to save this Ghana that is in shambles if you yourself, you are also paying money?
Okay, in the 90s, when we talk about Rwanda, all we know is about war. It takes one. Now, when you mention Rwanda, you know it's one of the best countries in Africa. So it takes one. I hope one day I'm going to be the one to change the narrative of what is happening now.
Foresight Zachary Yaro Al Hassan, aka Kilo.
Yes.
You believe you are the people's man?
Yes.
I like the way you're smiling, plate. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow.
When victory is coming, you can see it.
You can smell it. Hey, this one is what's his name? Kila Blaku. Victory is there. I'm feeling it.
You see? You know something? A lot of people have not paid attention to the notice of poll.
Okay.
People see it and they just look at it. Oh, is that pictures and all that? But there's a purpose of the notice of poll.
Right.
To know who you are going to elect and where he's going, what he's going to do there. But people don't pay attention to that.
Foresight, what number are you?
I'm number 3 on the ballot.
Number 3?
Yes.
The
God
Trinity.
the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
Foresight Zachary Yaro Al Hassan, we wish you well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Indeed.
I appreciate
Sure.
your time.
The man Kilo.
I don't know if you vote here.
No, I do not vote here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the interview with me, I know what you can do.
Sure. All right, Foresight, thank you so very much for coming, and we wish you well in tomorrow's elections. District level elections tomorrow, December 19, 2023. Foresight Zachary Yaro Al Hassan is an assembly member aspirant for the Odona Sahara electoral area. We're calling on all Ghanaians, eligible voters, qualified voters to participate in the district level elections, which comes off tomorrow, December 19, 2023, from 7 a.m. to close of polls at 5 p.m. Well, that will be all for tonight. My name is Nana Tufo Boateng. I did this with Akosia Ochre, show produced by Kobna Wilson, Sami Wiafe, Bevlin London, and of course, technical support from Daniel Squashi. Many thanks for your time. Keep listening to 97.3 Citi FM. Have a good night.